Hi and welcome to Improve Your Voice. My name is Darren McStay and today I'm going to be reviewing the voice of Natalie Portman.
Hey guys!
So Natalie Portman rose to fame after her appearance as a young child in the film Leon, in which she was absolutely brilliant and clearly a star was born because of her performance as an actress at such a young age was really good. And she's had a very successful career since then. She's been in Star Wars and she's been in many other movies, and she continues to work. And so I found this interview online and I wanted to take a look at her voice because she was suggested by one of you guys out there. Again, I don't have the name, I'm sorry, I should be writing this down, but it was a while ago. Anyway, so we're going to take a little look at this clip and see what we can learn.
I know this is kind of strange to do in an internet video, but my husband and I have 2 extra tickets to the ballet. And I was wondering, you wanna come? Not only that, but we'll even go backstage and get to know each other over a drink. And I don't mean surface level chit chat. You're gonna get to know me. But for that to happen, I really have to know myself first. Now, I know what you're thinking. What does that even mean, Natalie? How would you get to know yourself? Go back through 20 plus years of interviews, remove a few words, and see if you can guess what you said back then? That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Natalie Portman is an actor and she's been around for quite a while. I'm not sure on her formal training, but when she's speaking like this, one thing I noticed is that she's a little bit under-energized. She's got a voice, she's clearly clear, but there's a microphone on her. But there seems to be a little bit, she seems to be a bit unsupported. Let's have a little listen.
But we'll even go backstage and get to know each other over a drink.
The reason I say that is because there's a little bit of warble. There's a little bit of wobble in her voice. She's kind of it doesn't feel like there's a clear natural channel of air flowing. It feels like she's not breathing in enough, and it could be because she's sitting down. It could be because she's speaking quietly on a set, but it could be the position she's in. But somehow I feel that she's not breathing enough air in order to support the words she's using. What I feel she's doing is she's quite not having much in there and then just trying to speak from there, and then it's just a little bit weak, and that's what it sounds like to me. So careful, Natalie.
I don't mean surface level chit chat. You're gonna get to know me. But for that to happen...
And she's doing this thing as well where she tails off at the end and she starts off clear, but then it goes there, and she loses her air and goes into a pulse register because she's slowing down the vibrations of her vocal fold.
You're gonna get to know me.
So she starts here and ends up here. And it's kind of like a style thing as well. It's like some parts of America do this, and it's a bit, I think, Californian style. And she's like that, and then she goes there, down there, like that. And she'll finish off, she'll start here, and then she'll go down there. And yeah, it's interesting. So she's not really using her voice in a way, not like a theatre actor certainly would, or a public speaker. Maybe it's because she's got into bad habits because she's been in film, and sometimes those lower tones and speaking quietly are deemed acceptable.
But for that to happen, I really have to know myself first.
Yeah, so this relaxing onto her pulse register, or some people call it vocal fry, where you start quite clearly and then you're like here. It's deeper with me because obviously I've got a different shaped instrument, and things are like a larger size. I've got a bigger cavity, maybe thicker vocal folds than her, but
20 plus years of interviews, remove a few words, and see if you can guess what you said back then? That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
That's exactly what I'm gonna do. So I've said it before, and maybe I should go into a bit more detail on this, but the pulse register, or some people say vocal fry, is when the vocal folds slow down. And you're more likely to hear that they're moving. It sounds like that as opposed to, because the faster they vibrate, the less it sounds like vibrations and more just sounds like a note. But when it's really slow, it sounds like a tapping, and that's essentially what's happening with your vocal folds anyway. But there is this style of speaking where people want to just end up down there, and it can, some people find it irritating, not me necessarily, but I'm surprised that an actor's doing it. I would have thought there's something. I just did it myself, but I'm surprised that such a successful actor would be doing that.
You're gonna get to know me. But for that to happen, I really have to know myself first. Now, I know what you're thinking.
She's got quite a nasally voice, hasn't she? She's got like a... Now, I know what you think. It's really like if it was in the back of the throat and up to the nose, that's kind of where she's coming from. And I think somehow by using your voice in a certain way and throwing the air up back here, kind of changes your physicality. And she's doing this thing with her shoulders and her hands and moving and expressing herself, but pulling back. She seems to be pulling back off words, like almost as if pulling back off words is indicating to us that she's not really where she wants to be or saying what she wants to say. She's not giving of herself. She's kind of just, she's sort of unconsciously pulling away, and it's coming through in her voice. And I think that's honestly, she's uncomfortable, and I think that's showing, and I think that's why she's pulling down into the pulse register. Maybe that's just a really relaxed thing, but she's kind of literally pulling back and indicating to me physically that she's just a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe it's just she's not sure about this, interview that she's in. It's a bit strange for her. She's doing her best. She's acting, but there's just a bit of something I don't quite buy about it. And this isn't just her voice. This is, her interview right here.
To know yourself, go back through 20 plus years of interviews, remove a few words, and see if you can guess what you said back then.
Remove a few words. She doesn't over-articulate herself. Some of her words are a bit mumbled. She's got a very interesting face. She's got small, she's got high cheekbones, small chin, small nose. So she's quite like a petite woman, but she's not really... She's not what I'd call a great voice, and she's not really using some of the depth, because you can go down and use lower notes without, but keeping it, using your lower registers and your resonators without going to your pulse register. So she's not using her voice the way I think she fully could and is able to. But then again, she's also, like I said, like a smaller frame and maybe in an uncomfortable environment in this situation and unsupported with her air, so none of that is actually helping her voice on the day. I think when she uses her voice fully, she's naturally, wants to be more in her head voice, and she can be quite clear and loud and full voiced, but when she's full voiced, it's more of a higher pitched, and I think maybe she's just relaxed here, and just pulling back and not really putting much energy into it, and that's why it comes across like that on this particular interview. I'm not sure what else to say really, but takeaways from this video and what we can learn from Natalie Portman are: be careful. Be careful about your body language. Be careful on how you consider words you're saying, because if you start to drop back, it might indicate to others that you're not interested. If you're unsupported and you don't have their air to speak, it might come across like you haven't considered what you're going to say because you run out of air. I'm not saying it does make you do that, but people can often unconsciously judge you based on some of the performance elements of the way you speak. And not that it makes it true, but if you have a clear, resonant and articulate voice, there's never any doubt in people's mind of the message you're trying to share. And as speakers, we want to be able to support ourselves. We want to be able to be articulate enough and neutral enough so our bodies aren't telling too much of a story. Our voice isn't trying to tell too much of a story through its own considerations and thoughts and habits. And so it's just, I think, good form in order to connect clearly with more people outside of our friends and family, to perhaps consider these things and stay neutralized, stay energized, stay on voice, stay fully supported, keep articulate, keep clear, and remember, it's not about you, it's about your audience who you're speaking to. That's what I'm taking from Natalie Portman today. I hope it is useful to you. My name is Darren McStay. This is Improve Your Voice, and until the next time, look after your voice.